I was approached a few weeks ago by actually Lauren Vargas, who's no longer here, but she was here just a couple minutes ago.
I didn't realize she was the. She's not dead.
She was the impetus, yes. And Lauren said that a very dear friend of ours was putting together a program that to support awareness of the crisis in the Gulf Coast and to help some of the families in the Gulf Coast cope with this problem. And this is a project that Jeff Livingston's working on, and it is the Citizen Gulf Project.
Woo!
And so I agreed to help organize the Boston event. This is a nationwide event. It's going on in 19 cities across the U.S. I don't know the total head count, but I think it's around 400 something odd people right now are signed up.
We have a ton of people down in New Orleans. The
Yes.
New Orleans one is probably by far the biggest, but they have North Carolina going. I think John Cass is doing some stuff down there.
John is doing it. Yeah, I mean it's a really good showing. The challenge tonight here in Boston was probably threefold. There's the Red Sox are on. It's the end of August. There is the Inc. 30 Under 30 event tonight, of all places. So
this will all be edited out this part.
So,
Right, yeah, this is all going to be killed.
People that are here are just, you know, the die-hard
The
fans.
best people in
The best people in the world.
The ones over 30.
The people mostly over 30, right? Who are no longer qualified.
under 30.
I'm here.
So thank you everybody for making it, and thank you Jeff for helping organize this. The hashtag is Citizen Gulf, and the first person that I thought of when I was putting this together was this guy right here, Jeff Cutler.
It wasn't Spike Lee. Spike Lee was
Spike was second.
Jeff was first.
Spike was busy.
Yeah. So Jeff, thank you. We wanted to
Next time.
have you share a few thoughts from the event.
I'll share a little, but I would love to answer some questions. Just because I spent 2 weeks in the Gulf reporting on the oil spill, reporting on the situation down there, and coming back, people have a different perception of what's going on. They want to know what I saw down there, what I didn't see, what the situation is really like, who I talked to that could give some perspective. But I find that the best information comes when the audience is asking some questions about the situation, about my experience, and about the really the spill itself. So I don't know if you want to kick it off with a couple questions and then we'll go to the audience, or what you want to do.
Well, I'm really curious. I mean, I have some friends in the Florida area, a couple of friends who run one friend in particular who runs a B&B, who, you know, was directly impacted by this. But the interesting thing is, you know, never saw any oil.
Right.
So I'm really curious, you know, from your experience, how much damage did you see from the oil versus economic damage from thought that there's oil there?
Well, they're two very different things. I mean, I saw a lot of oil. People come back, when I came back, people were like, how much oil did you see? How come you weren't juggling tar balls on video? How come you didn't have an oily duck on your shoulder? And point being, I saw people cleaning up oil. I saw dumpsters full of tar balls, of oil remnants. I saw decontamination areas, and the people in with rakes and gloves and cleaning up the Gulf Shore beaches, which, by the way, are gorgeous. They're maybe the nicest beaches I've ever seen in my life. But the impact itself, financially and from a perception point of view, or perception, I don't know how you'd even phrase it. The perception that the area has been damaged is huge, and it's causing more damage. I talked to the people in, was it Gulf Shores and a number of places through Alabama and Mississippi, and they were saying right now their tourism's down by a third. They're getting decimated because people who live in the Carolinas, live in the Georgia area, live anywhere just outside of the Gulf Coast, would come down there for vacation. It's like people around here going to the Cape. And they weren't traveling down because they were deciding instead to go camping or forego the vacation because they thought waves of oil were just lapping up on the shores, which wasn't the case.
Yeah.
You had oil coming into the into the bayous and into the wetlands, those areas, early on. And that's where all the news cameras really hustled down to get the most impactful pictures. But that wasn't what I saw. I went down there, I had, I don't know, 104-degree temps. I'm wandering around, sweaty on the beaches, kicking up white sand, digging in the sand. I got some driftwood, I dug down a foot. I couldn't find any oil. And so I went over to Tulane University and talked to a toxicology professor over there. And I said to her, what's the story? I haven't found any oil. What's the impact going to be? How much oil is really gone already, which is the big story right now. And in doing this stuff, I was doing this for EDR, which is Environmental Data Resources. They're a company in Connecticut, and their group, their community, is environmental professionals who want to know, first and foremost, what's happening to the environment. Second, how they can maybe help out, how they might be able to get jobs in helping remediate the oil damage or evaluate damage to property, to the coastline, to businesses, and also get a better picture than what the national media was showing.